Hello, guys, and welcome. Happy Sunday. Hope you guys are having a fantastic weekend so far. Welcome, everybody. As you can tell, I have a fantastic guest joining me today. I cannot wait to bring him on. But before I introduce him, he's just finished his stream, so let me give him just a couple of moments just to catch his breath and let me say hello to everybody in the stream. We have got Ren Zero. Hello, Ren Zero. We've got Larry. We have got Doctor and author Adega Outlaw. Hello, Adega. We have got Chris Persia, the Bash brother. Hello, Chris. Thank you. Who else have we got? We have got Arwen Avalon. Hello, sweetheart. D-Bud Martin, Colin P. Smith. Welcome, guys. Good to see you. Let's see who else. We have got the Gilkman. Hello, honey. Good to see you. We've got Punk Waddle. Hey, good to see you. Phoenix Tangent. Always a pleasure. Welcome, honey. Robert Pearson. Good evening, Robert. Rogue Disney. Hey, welcome. Good to see you. We've got Mr. Dragon. We've got Zakarot 315. Good to see you. We have got Firefly Mark 1. Welcome. Dadman Walking. Good to see you as always. Haroche. Good to see you as always as well, honey. Good to see you. Canadian Spider-Man. Welcome. And John Beck. Good to see you also. Guys, thank you so much. Too Much 77, I see you as well. And SRB, hey guys, thank you so much for joining me. Hope you're all having a fantastic day so far. As I said, I am really, really excited to be joined by my guest today. He's literally just finished his stream, so let me bring him on. You know him, you love him. It is the man with the best hair on YouTube. It's Culture Casino.
Wow, thank you for that introduction. My goodness, I'm happy to be here with you. I've been talking this up for the whole week since I've been coming home from Vegas. I've been talking about this, so I'm glad to see a lot of people I recognize who are both of our fans. So this is fantastic. So,
absolutely. Yes, as I say, thank you so much for joining me. I know you've literally just finished your stream, so I'm very, very grateful.
I was grateful for the invitation. It was no problem. Everybody there. We ran a very tight show. It was beautiful. And no, I wouldn't miss this opportunity for the world. So it was pretty easy to end the show. I told everybody, hey, this is where I'm going. So let's go over here.
Much appreciated. So just to give you kind of a rundown, just to let you know what I was planning today.
Sure.
What we do on a Sunday, it's basically a kind of get to know you show.
Sure.
So I like to kind of get a little bit of background on the guest, you know, what kind of motivates you, what gets you going, and how you became known so well on YouTube, basically.
Wow. To be honest with you, I don't know how I became so well known on YouTube. All I did was talk about the stuff that made no sense from a financial point of view when it comes to the business side of entertainment. I'm like, this isn't making any money. So, you know, and it confused me for a very long time. And I found all of these amazing people that are part of our fellowship, right? Because of my difficulty with the way media was being presented and so much I'm going to use their word, toxicity and hate being thrown at the very people who had created the fandoms of these different, you know, for lack of a better term, franchise. It made no sense. I mean, and you're talking to a person, literally the film that turned my whole world on end at 6 and 7 years old was Star Wars, because I saw it in the theater as a little boy in the biggest screen in my entire state here in the United States. And I'm like, from the very moment you had the Corellian ship being pursued by the Star Destroyer, I was hooked. That moment where it's being fired upon with stuff I had never seen, and that was it. That was the very moment that I became a fan of this franchise. I made either one set of my family or another take me to see that film at least once a month for a year, because I was so in. Yeah, I was. I mean, I was just crazy for it, and there weren't any. Everybody probably knows the story now, but there weren't Star Wars toys available right away. So like literally I was getting, like, you know, circling the stuff that I wanted, and you'd get a box with the thing that you were going to get or whatever. So it was like, okay, this is the toy you're getting, you know? So it's like, but it's not in here. It's not this is worthless. So, but it was that thing. So from that point forward, I was exposed to all kinds of stuff. My stepdad handed me my first comic book, which was the very first appearance of Thor, which until about 15, 20 years ago, there was a flood. So I lost that comic, which is why I very much protect my comics now. But yeah, the few that I have left. But that comic, which is very valuable nowadays, by the way, that was destroyed in a flood when a water heater exploded. So, but anyway, it's a long story. But these are like I said. So I was introduced to that. I was introduced to war comics, right? I was introduced to wow, so many things. I was introduced to Star Trek. My stepdad introduced me to Star Trek. My biological father introduced me to the great Monty Python and Benny Hill and all this.
They had good taste.
Yeah, and so I mean, I was just being, you know, all this amazing culture, comedy. I tried to blend American humor with British humor because I think that's a good balance because it's very funny. You can be very dry and be very funny, and it's fantastic. But I don't know. I mean, that's all of those things were being eroded from every single piece of property that I started to observe. And this goes back longer than probably any of us were even like aware of it. You can go back into 2012 and see it emerging. People say you can see it as back, as far back as 2004. But literally, it was this advancement, this intersectionality thing, this pursuit of this political agenda rather than something that was entertaining. And I think because I was realizing that everything that I was being subjected to now was a lecture, I got upset, and I found all these great people, and that's how I ended up where I am. And that's the very long version of the story. But I'm sorry, it's hard to get me to shut up. I just went for 6 minutes talking. So
that's exactly what I want from the guests. I love to hear people's kind of background, you know, how you became a fan of something, why you love a certain IP, you know. We're fans for a reason, and as you say, you know, because we're fans, we've seen the erosion of the things that we love. And you think, you know, before you join these kind of communities, you know, is it us? Are we imagining it? And then you kind of talk to more and more people, and you realize, no, we're not actually crazy. This really is happening.
And that's the right way to look at it. Absolutely. We all see it the same way, and we always have those moments. It's like it can't just be me. Is it just me? Is it just me? Am I falling out of love with these things? And no, it's because we all have that moment. And it's the same exact conversation. So when I hear right, heel versus babysit, when I hear him say the same thing, he had the same moment. We all have that same moment. Gary had the same moment. Jeremy GD had the same moment. Our buddy in the chat, Thomas Gilkey, had the same moment. We share that, and we share so much more. It's kind of spooky. Maybe it's spooky, a little spooky. Yeah.
I find it quite comforting, to be honest, because as you say, before you kind of fall into these kind of, I know it's kind of crass to say a community. I know we've started saying family, we've started saying fellowship, exactly. But that's really what it is, and that's how it feels like. But you do think, am I alone in this? You know, am I overdoing it? Am I getting too sensitive about something that I love? But I don't think that's the case.
No. No, because there's so many of us doing it now. I mean, you know, your channel's building, my channel's building. We've got, I just hung out with two great people. Somebody who has got a pretty decent sized channel, and Stephanie Janisek over on the Sunday Culture Review. Yes. Right? Yeah, she's lovely, and bright and wonderful, and she does really good morning live streams. For me, it's morning. For you, it's, you know, later in the day. But then you have and somebody who works with Gaming with Geeks, Disparu, who is amazing as well, you know, and his channel is building, and I fully expect that he's going to, you know, grow and grow and grow, and that's what's happening. You're seeing this expand, and then I truly believe in it, and it's good to see Mike, good to see you, Mexican Ironman, but and everybody in the chat. I can't believe how many of you are here. This is great.
We've got an amazing chat. Thank you.
We do. But we're seeing even people, regular, ordinary people, like we normies, we call them, right? We're seeing them now going, this kind of stinks. I don't know. I'm not
Yes. In a way, it's kind of, validating, because you think, well, we told you this was happening back in 2016 and
it's been a while.
We got ignored. It doesn't make it any better, but it does make you feel slightly,
but does it
a little bit better.
It's just, guys, here, watch this with the lens that you now possess, and then tell me it was good, because you're going to have a hard time. It's like, this is the other part of the story, right? So walked out of Force Awakens, and I was like, oh, that kind of felt Star Warsy. It wasn't perfect. There was some lacking. Brand Zero, you're right. Normies are waking up. But it's just, so as a family, now mind you, we go as a big bunch of humans, right? It's just, it's like a lot of us, and even some kids that probably shouldn't have been in the film, they went to the film, right? So, but it was excellent because it's a Star Wars film. Walked out of there, my brother and I, it felt kind of Star Warsy or whatever. And my brother and I, my youngest brother and I, talk about Star Wars, or used to, all the time. And that's, and all of his friends were into Star Wars. I was, of course, into Star Wars. But so those interactions were that. And then you get 2 weeks away from watching that film, and you go, it's an awful lot like, the first film. And it's and so there was a lot of parallels, and it's like, what's going on with this girl? And there were a lot of openings there, right? We could have had Finn, because Finn obviously Force sensitive. I'm thinking, okay, the direction this is going to be cool, because this is setting up these two people growing together, becoming Jedi, and then ending up opposed to each other. Because I thought ultimately, if I were going to tell that story, that's the way I would do that. Fat Steven, stop with your propaganda. But I'm thinking that was a good way to tell the story. But then we all, as a family, again, year and a half later, however long it was, we go see the second film, right? And first of all, don't make films that fast. Don't do that. You didn't take time to let the pepper,
really
settle on the meat.
Push these out. Yeah,
it's bad. So, but so we go. And we watched the film. And by the way, I wanted to leave. It was only a few minutes into the film. I could not believe what I was seeing in a way that caused a physical reaction in me. Now, mind you, again, whole family. The boss sitting right next to me. Whole family. And we'd all seen the film before, so this is going to be a tradition, because pretty cool tradition, right, to go with everybody, all your extended, your close extended, But it was amazing until I started to get cringy, and then at the end of the film, I couldn't say anything. I mean that there literally was no. There's no way to describe. Yes, lost for words. Dumbfounded is better. Yes. That's a better. I'm going to use that one from now on. Dumbfounded. I was struck dumb. No, but it was that moment, right? That my brother and I didn't speak. No one talked to each other walking to our vehicles. That is diametrically opposed to a year and change before. Right? Which is insane, right? You're supposed to be super excited and happy and pumped up and fired up about this thing you just saw and you experienced, and those moments weren't there.
You know what? So many people have actually said that. The first film, it kind of played a lot on nostalgia, and people kind of got, this is very similar, but I kind of enjoyed it. It was that kind of thing. And as you say, we had really a lot of potential within. I would have loved to have found out more about what it was like to have been a stormtrooper. That's what I thought we were going. If it wasn't going to be the Force sensitive side, I would have loved to have seen it from, the Empire's side, what it's like to be a cog in the machine. But with the second one, people were just speechless. It's like, what did we just walk out of? What did we just see?
Yeah, and I mean, that was the most harsh to date. I'm saying that to date. That was the most harsh deconstruction of a hero that we'd seen at that point. Now, things went way farther off course after that, but that was that moment, and that was really the thing that I started to watch more and more people that sounded more and more like me at that moment. Now, of course, I was watching it under my other YouTube handles, right? Because I wasn't ever going to have a channel. You know,
Of
I mean,
course.
my interests were like hydroponics and, you know, and fun stuff like the engineering, like in 3D printing and
Really?
things that fed into my
Okay.
hobbies, right? And, you know,
Okay.
animatronics and all those things, right? And so, you know, and again, I mean, I kept like going, okay, I found this person. And then you get your suggested people, right? And you're like, okay, I'm going to watch this guy. And then you're like, eventually, and I'm, you know, I found the Mike Zero dude, which is, that dude's bananas. But, so I found him along the way. I'm like, okay, so he's good for humor, but that's about it. You know, he's in a different timeline is how I've heard him described, but I'm not
That's
disparaging him. I'm just saying
that's a
he's
good
just,
way to put it. Definitely,
I'm
yes.
not, I'm
I'll
not
take
being
that.
disparaging at all. I'm just saying that dude is bananas. But I found all these great people, and I'm like, okay, so I started watching them. And then I'm talking to the boss, and she's like, this is your thing, go do this. He's like, you've always wanted to do something, go do this. And so I was like, all right. So I did a bunch of research, and then I reached out to Ryan Cannell. Okay,
Oh,
I
yeah.
because I'd
Love
followed him
Ryan.
for a while, and he hadn't been on very long, and he was enjoying some pretty rapid success, and of course that's also tied to the group of humans he's attached to, who
Absolutely.
again I magically am. Oh, I'm a member of every one of their channels, by the way. So, but so I'm getting insight. So every time there's a member stream, or I can hang out with these people. Of course, I'm not showing my face or none of anything like that. I'm like sitting in the background doing this. And then eventually, I create all of the graphics that you see now, all the early stuff on all my early videos. I created over the course of like 3 months,
Okay.
and so I launched the channel in February. I think I write this down because I always forget. It's like, my first video comes out in February, and from that point forward, I start making live stream appearances with somebody who taught me how to live stream. Her name is Miss Martin Muses.
Oh,
And
yes.
everybody knows who she is, and you probably know her real name. She is one of the most lovely human beings on the planet. Just absolutely adore her, and I always credit her for A, putting my face on camera, and B, because I was never going to do that, and B, teaching me how to live stream, because I think you have to learn. It's
I
best
think
best to,
so. Yeah.
isn't it best to be a guest?
I think so. That's definitely how I kind of got my step into. I similar to you. I was very kind of in the background for probably 12 to 18 months. You know, just watching people, kind of deciding, you know, who I liked, you know, whose opinions I liked, and then you know, just progressing, getting to know people. And I think actually my first live stream was actually on Loki's channel, if I
Oh yeah,
remember
Loki.
correctly.
My gosh.
Yeah,
Oh, I had the great privilege of meeting him in person. I love this man. He is so great.
he
So
is. The
great.
boss is awesome.
He's got an incredible voice too. I mean, I you know, it's like I always thought, oh yeah, I can do my real radio announcer voice, and I could do this and be amazing, right? And then you hear Loki, and you're like, oh, my voice sucks. Yeah. And then Valiant Renegade, he's a fast up and comer, man. I love
He
this guy.
is,
Right?
yeah.
He and I have like the same kind of business opinions about, so oh good man. But he's got another amazing I'm like, gosh, I'm like in 4th place now in voices. I'm really disappointed.
I
Very
know
bummed
we've
out.
got so many people that just feel and sound like they belong on YouTube. You know, they,
Yeah.
like especially as you say, these up and comers. You know, ourselves included, obviously, because we haven't been here this long. But it just it's just so many new voices, and I love it when people make the new channels, because it's so good to have new opinions coming out.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I mean, that was the long and the short of it about how I got here. I mean, I could go on, but that would be boring, and you have a lot of chat stuff going on. So
I
let's
do,
see what-
yes. What I would do, guys, massive thank you. I have been watching the chat. I'm going to talk to Culture first, and then at the end, if that's okay with him, I will get the super chats. But I will say a massive thank you to Mr. Buttcrack Media, who has joined. Thank you, sweetheart. Massive thank you to you. That avatar always makes me laugh.
I know. I love. Yeah, but Crack Media is fantastic. We have. This is the other thing. We have incredible humor in our group of humans in our fellowship. I started saying group of humans because I was really trying to get away from the word the television series word. But I just
Yes.
family's good. Our buddy Orsboard uses family all the time.
He does, yeah.
And
I would
that's
be
true.
more
And Loki has a few different words. I mean, I again, to me, just because I was able to go to Vegas, and I really wish you'd been able to be there.
Oh, me too.
Maybe next time about. But but I got to meet the people that I have in the chat. I got to meet the people that I've been watching, and I got to hang out with them. Now I've met some people before because I mean I go to Florida on the regular, so I get to see Drunk and other folks. But I got to meet people, and it was incredible. Like I said, I met Loki. I met so many amazing channels, and I can't even name them. I got to meet the great Eric K, who is a mod amongst mods. For
He
almost
really
most of the big channels. And it was just there you go, Erwin. Yeah, that's right.
Absolutely.
There's another up and comer right there, guys. Erwin
Yep.
Avalon.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But it was incredible, and I that experience will only expand at the next one, and it will for everyone else. I feel that, and the people that you meet are more genuine than you can expect. Of course, I'm a little more toned down and dad-like, I've been told, in real life, and that's probably true. A little more reserved, unless you can ply me with some alcohol, but I don't imbibe hardly at all. Oh goodness, somebody subscribed to me. Oh, sorry about that. That just does it by itself. Anyway. Wow. What was I saying? Oh,
A little bit more.
Unless you
reserved
ply
in
me,
person.
yes. I'm more reserved in person, a little less on. Right now, I'm really on. But yeah, I mean, I couldn't believe it. I was meeting these people, and they were literally the representations of what they are, and except for the people that are obviously personas, because you have a couple of people that are there that are they're the heels. Right, in wrestling, that's what we call them, the heels, and that would be Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers. Jeremy Griggs is a real person. He's a good guy.
He is a good guy.
Ryan Cannell. A lot of people think but all of that's bombast, my friends. That's not him in real life. I mean, he doesn't think that women are only good for two things. I mean. He doesn't.
No, I can definitely attest to that. Ryan is a very sweet guy.
But we have a couple of people that are personalities, and you have like genuine human beings, and they're all amazing. So I can't wait. The next time we all get together, I'm going to be like, I need hugs and stuff. Yeah. Yeah. And Zach was there. I got to meet Zach brightest day. Zach was there. He got to hang out with us. There were so many. And I will talk about Vegas at every opportunity because it was that much of it was a uplifting. I mean, we haven't had uplifting. So we all got together and had this uplifting moment. And then at the same time, we have people supporting each other in various different ways right now. And I just want to say I'm grateful to all of the people out there for those efforts, because I mean we've had fundraising for charities and all kinds of other stuff, and this fellowship rises to the day, and I love them all.
It really does. Deepa Barton says also Jeremy's a great leader to his team. He really impresses me with that. Absolutely. Well said.
And yeah, we've got D-Bud Martin, Polly of a Latino Slant. You've got Midnight's Edge. You've got all that. That's a whole other team of amazing people. Mexican Iron Man's part of that. And Andre, Andre's an incredible leader there. And it's this really cool thing where we have these, are they pods? People that you're always with, kind of a team, maybe?
I guess I would call them teams. I mean, I would say, we've got Valhalla, but as you say, there's so much crossover now. Even as we were saying with the chat, there's so many names that I recognize.
Yep.
It's so good to see everybody. But since you were talking about Vegas anyway, let me ask, how good was it to actually finally get together as a group and let your hair down?
Oh, it was so amazing. I again, so I ended up being a taxi for both of the events because I won't have an alcoholic beverage if I'm going to drive, right? And I'm moderate when I drink anyway, but I just don't. So it was amazing because it didn't take any of that to loosen up around these people, right? Because alcohol lowers your inhibitions if you still imbibe or if you imbibe at all. But none of that was required for engaging with all of these people, and it was incredible. Like I said, I've said this many times, and just a few moments ago, it was spiritual almost, because it was needed, right? And coming face to face, and this is part of the insidiousness of locking people down. They don't get a chance to be face to face. This is the best we've had, and this interaction on YouTube. And believe me, I'm not discounting it at all, because I think I would have gone absolutely. Yeah. I would have gone bananas if I didn't have a chance to talk to people. And the interaction in the chat, I mean, you guys don't even know how much you mean to us. You just don't, yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah, I don't need Vegas to let my hair down. No, there are two reasons to let to pull your hair up in public. One, you're riding a horse. Two, you're riding a motorcycle. Now, there's an occupational reason to put your hair up. It's called being a chef or cooking. Other than that, not in public, kids.
I've got to ask, since you've touched on it and the chat are talking about it as well, was that kind of a running joke throughout Vegas, people kind of touching your hair?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. No, are you kidding? I had Angelus Draven, who's somebody that you might recognize. He was there, and he's like, "I'm going to steal your hair products." I'm like, "No, you're not. They're hidden." Not because he was in my room. I had some people come to my room. We did a show. We did the Gaming Lounge show live from my room, which is amazing. By the way, when we all get together, I'm going to make sure that we all plan to have tables so that we can do live shows all sitting together, because that is an experience
that would be cool.
You can't replace, because there's so much more energy. They're sitting next to you. You're engaging. There's a little, you can chide someone a little bit more aggressively or whatnot. It's a good time. It's a good time.
Man of War says to Culture Casino, I thought we agreed to amend that Friday.
I don't recall.
It's a possible, honey. It's a possible Man of War.
By the way, I got to meet Man of War 665 and his lovely partner. I got to meet. I don't even think people realize there were so many more people there than anybody anticipated. The photographer the first night estimated that there had been maybe 500 people.
Mm-hmm. It looks like
nuts.
it. I mean, I try to watch as many of the streams as I can. I mean, obviously, I really, really wanted to be there, but it wasn't to happen this time. But the one thing that I did notice is that everybody was getting along. Everybody was having a fantastic time.
Yeah. I mean, even people that may not be always on the same page, none of that mattered. It was really, really cool. I got to hang out with some people that I disagree with on some stuff, which is, and none of that doesn't matter. That's the other difference between how we do things and how some people do things. I think you and I can disagree. That's okay.
Absolutely.
That'll be all right.
Disagreeing is fun sometimes,
It is. Yeah, especially if you're sitting at the pub next to someone and your football team is it's 0-0 and you're rooting on, and you talk about your best striker not being as good as their best striker and such. There you go. Did I say all that right? I tried to pretend like I know how to talk about soccer the way that other people do. I played soccer in the States, but
did you?
Yeah, a bit.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I know, obviously, it's not as big as say baseball.
No, it's pretty big.
Basketball, but yeah.
And mind you, I'm an old dude, so that was many moons ago, right? It's very popular here now.
So, what was your big takeaway from getting to do this? did it kind of energize you to kind of
Oh, wow.
light a fire under you? I know that's what a lot of people have said. That was it, their takeaway. You know, it was so good to get to meet everybody, and it's really kind of cemented the relationships that they had.
It did. All of those things are true. It's really weird. I felt, and this is, I said this a few times, and I've said it before. I'm like, there are certain people or certain channels or certain streams that refill my joy bucket. My joy bucket was overflowing after the first day. We hadn't even got to a meetup yet, right? Yeah. Mike. Yeah, I understand, Mike. But my joy bucket was overflowing, and it not only did it solidify the relationships that I had, right, and my connection to the people that are in our fellowship, right, the people who are in our chat, all the other stuff. They got to see what I was doing in real time. The people were coming by. I got Nick Weiser and Jake D and everybody showing up because they see where I'm streaming.
Nick Weiser.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that guy. I don't know. When he elects to drink, he doesn't fool around. He is definitely drinking. But anyway, but people found us. I mean, we'd live stream somewhere, people would find us. Then we'd hang out with them for a bit, and then we'd set up somewhere else the next day and start to do it. I mean, I can't tell you how many people were in and out of the stream in the Venetian when drunk 3PO and I were there, and it's just like, so you get these relationships, and now you have a physical proximity to each other, which was really, really cool. But I came back, and I think I said this, and I shot a video on the drive back, right? Because we drove, because it was equally as time consuming to drive as it would have been to fly. So, and I could bring, like, essentially the portable studio that I leave up north at my cabin. I could bring that with me to Vegas, which is what we did.
Yes,
and
I can imagine that would be a lot easier.
It's easier. Yeah. I mean, because like, getting the giant, computer tower through security, no bueno. But on the way back on my little, what do you call it? The gimbal, right? On my phone, I shot a video and edited a video and uploaded a video on the way back, so I could put it on Twitter. And it basically described how great it was, and the fact that I am now even more inspired than ever. I mean, I can't really say it relit the candle, because I don't have a problem with motivation when it comes to this stuff. But maybe I poured gasoline on the fire, right? So I had this, it was a decent fire, but now I've thrown on like some proper logs, and now, and so I'm creating new thumbnail stuff. I'm like thumbnail templates. I'm creating like new video backgrounds. Like I've got one that I'm working on that I can't show you right now. I'm going to change up some of the format of the way I do some things, because other people I watch, we had conversations. This is the other cool thing. It's like you and I are doing right now. We were having this conversation about, okay, how can we do this? Can we collaborate and do this thing? And I'm working. I mean, I got to meet, a couple other people that I'm collaborating with on an animated show, right, that we're working on 24 episodes for. We have like a writer's room and everything. That's amazing. So that's going to take us forever. It'd probably take us the balance of 2022 to put it together, but we have like this writer's room. We meet, we talk about it. We've got people we're going to bring in from all around our fellowship to do voice characters and stuff like that. Nice. Right.
That's amazing.
And I'm still working on, my script for my horror sci-fi film, which is, it's not really a short film. It's a little longer than a short film, but it's not really a feature, so I don't know what it's going to get called. And then when I feel like it's not going to be too embarrassing, I'm going to send that to Script Doctor to tell me what a bad writer I am. And I
love Script Doctor. He's a great guy.
And then when he turns that around, I will I will actually make the film. And he's got a lot on his plate, so I'm not gonna, I'm not in a rush to make this, but I have people picked out for roles and stuff, and I'm really stoked. Of course I cast myself, but there's a reason. There's a reason for that, but I'm not starring in it. I'm not the star, but I'm in the film, and because I'm the voice of the narrator. Right. So, and again, this is a really weird, featurette's probably right. One man show. But voice work. Absolutely. Yeah. It's going to be a lot of fun. So, absolutely. Snowed up. Absolutely, brother. But we have so many other people planning the same kinds of things. That's the thing. And so my ultimate goal is to have each of our groups of humans, right, from our giant fellowship, form actual production companies, because I think that's the next logical step.
I think so. I can definitely see why that would be beneficial. I mean, we always say, support independent creators, for example, and we absolutely do. We've got talented writers, we've got talented actors, we've got people that know how to create videos, people that know how to edit. There is such a big pool of talent within this family, fellowship, community, whatever you want to call it. I definitely think that would be the next logical step.
I think so. I've been thinking this for a long time. We have these partners and these independent comic folks, right? The Comics Gate and the Comics Gate adjacent folks, and they're doing what we're doing now, which is building a customer base, right? And we're interacting with them directly. And I think having a studio that's tied to that, like I can see Purple Valkyrie, having a production out there, with your own little name and, your own little business tied to it, which is a great way to shelter your money, your funds from taxes and such.
Yes.
And I see that everybody, once there's a path, once everybody's established a workflow, Mike, you're killing it in the chat, by the way. Once everybody's established a workflow, I feel like, and then they can show that to other people who can then replicate it. I think we'll start to see that. I really do. I have no doubt. Sounds like you agree. So there we are.
I do, absolutely. And as you say, because, we're all starting off, we're all kind of on the same level, and it's great to see everybody growing at the same time. And what I've noticed most of all with these channels, big or small, there's no competition. We're all here to lift each other up. And I love seeing that.
Right now, Bear Dog's like making little whiny sounds, so I had to mute myself. But,
that's fine. That's fine.
He's having I think he's having a bad dream. I don't know, but anyway, he sleeps. When I'm in here, when I'm in the library, which is doubles as my studio, right? He's right here. I have got a little bed for him, and he takes it. Yeah, he lays down. Oh, he's fantastic.
That's so cute.
Yeah, he's.
Oh no, don't worry about that. I've usually got a dog by me as well, and he makes noise. So.
But I'm so committed to these get-togethers and to this expansion about anything. You can put anything in tortillas. That's true.
You can.
Anyway, is that I made these, right?
Oh, those are cool.
Yeah, these are the poker chips, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And so they're legit. Of course, it has the bear dog on the back, right?
Oh,
there he is. Yeah. So, and I gave them away, right? This was, some people had really elaborate swag bags, people with the larger channels, and I gave away these poker chips. Well, I have committed to, and I'll answer this question in a second.
Yeah,
I've committed to these poker chips that I will make a new denomination in color for every one of these get-togethers that I go to. So, and I will continue to hand them out. So
they're going to be like collector's items.
Yeah,
is what you're saying.
maybe they might be. If somehow anybody thinks at any point in time there's any type of fame tied to me, maybe. But otherwise, they were just fun, and they can be, trinkets that you can put in a frame. And say, okay, these are all the events I went to. This was Vegas, 2021. This was San Antonio, Texas, 2022. This was Orlando, Florida, 2022. This was, because I imagine you're going to have 3 or 4 of these things a year. So
yes, it seems to be that's the whole idea, because this one works out so well.
So well.
Yeah, I think this is, as you said before, this is just going to get bigger and bigger, and we're just going to get more and more people getting involved.
Yeah. Now, to answer this question, and I don't know that it's I don't know if it's an important thing, but I felt like these big corporations, these large entities, these studios, they were gambling with all of our favorite things. So it was really easy to come up with. I'm like, well, this is because I wanted to cover culture, but primarily pop culture and entertainment, right? And so I'm thinking, okay, so this is they're tearing down the things that we love, our culture, our pop culture, our entertainment. and I don't think it's okay to gamble with that. So I combined the two things. And of course I like Vegas. I like casinos. I like craps especially. You put up the most amazing background for today. I don't know, and your thumbnail was brilliant.
Thank you.
But I was like, okay, so I don't want people to feel like they're gambling with pop culture. I want to talk about what's being gambled right now, and hence Culture Casino. Because I can't use my real name because I have a public face still. So eventually, when I don't have a public face, when I retire from my real world job and my hobby jobs won't care. Well, they may care, but I don't care. That won't affect anything. So I'll be able to do this, and people will start to be able. There are already people out there that know my name. That doesn't bother me. I don't mind being called Culture. This is a funny story. I have not shut up the whole time. Purple, you got to tell me, Culture.
No,
Shush it. Okay.
This is exactly what I want from the guests. I love it when people get to tell their story. I'm just keeping an eye on the chat for more questions.
That's fine. So it's fine. So inside baseball here at the house, the boss will actually call me Culture, or because of Parrot Head, Cuddles, because I got that nickname. I've seen that a lot. I got that nickname early on because of Parrot Head, a Cuddles Casino. I'm like, all right. And now everybody tries to give me new nicknames like Cursing Casino I've had, because there are times when I'm a little competitive in a video game and I might say some bad words. Stuff like that. But yes, CC is another one Cody Guy says in the chat. Yeah, all the time. People called me that at the meetup, right? And I will answer to it. You call me Culture, cuz I answer to Culture, I answer to Casino, I answer to CC, I answer to Cuddles. The boss, at night, like when it's time to go to bed, sometimes the boss will be like, "Hey, Cuddles."
Yes, that's true.
See? Did you hear her?
Hi.
Yeah, she came in here and collected Bear Dog because, but anyway, that's the household here. So, yeah.
It sounds awesome.
It was, I'm blessed. I love Culture Club's a pretty decent band. Come a chameleon. You come and go. Anyway, but no, that's not it. But I love to gamble. That's very true. I just don't do it very much because there are certain things in life that can become a very dangerous habit. Gambling, alcohol.
Yes.
And others
in moderation. I always say.
I moderate the bejesus out of that.
One of the things I was going to ask you mentioned, you said when you started the channel you were never going to be on camera.
No.
What changed? I was kind of the same. I always hid behind the avatar, at least for the first dozen or so of live streams that I did, and then I kind of thought, well, I'll click the camera on and see what happens.
One of the people that I follow, and I consider him my great benefactor and my good friend now, Comics Division, showed his face on a stream. And that was kind of like, and I had been told by many people, right, that that was a form of engagement that people would appreciate, being able to see you. And there's a reason that my hair grows and then gets cut and then grows and stuff. And someday I will have that whole story out for everybody in the world. Right. But I was like, okay, my hair had been recently cut, so it didn't look like me to me. So I wasn't, whatever. So there was a lot of reasons. And I had worked really hard with this program called Face Rig, which I think some people in our fellowship uses, like Fat Steven and others.
Fat Steven, absolutely. Yeah.
Which I think changed their name recently. But anyway, so I'd worked extensively with that, crafting, a character and a voice and everything. It's one of the reasons why I have used Voice Mod, if you probably heard about that software.
I've heard about it, never used it, yes.
Yeah, one of the guys that catches the scam artists that attack old people, Kit Boga. Kit Boga. Yeah, he uses that all the time to do his old lady voice and stuff. So, but anyway, so I had all this crafted in the background, and I did one video doing a movie review with a character I called Gron, right? And after that, Comics Division and a few other people inspired me to that. But I think it was probably Comics Division that got me to, to not worry so much about that. Although, looking back on it, probably was just the fact that I'd been hearing from other important people that I looked up to and still do, right? That showing your face had created more engagement.
Yes, I've definitely heard that. It is a little bit nerve-wracking, I've got to admit, and the chats are talking about it as well, because I'm just looking. Yeah. But it's that kind of putting yourself out there. But I think you're absolutely right. You do get a much deeper level of engagement with the audience, which I love. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I've got this is so cool because I get to. I don't think people realize I have some people that I know around the world, and I love this because we get to interact with audiences from everywhere. And the reason I bring that up is because I just saw Kip Ellis in the chat.
Yeah,
and
so Kip.
And Kip is, in the UK. And he is actually the producer for Mad Mardigan for the Street Smart shows that we do and everything else. He made himself such an integral part of the channel now that it's not the same without him. And I've only would have got to know him because of this. You know what I mean? It's like I feel like I have pretty good friends in Australia because of this, and so yeah, we went way off target there, but the only reason is because I saw the chat. But
that's there is literally no set discussion with this Sunday show. We meander all over the place, and I love that. And Luba Martinez says I believe I know Culture from Comics Division show.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Bud Martin, absolutely. I know, and that's the thing is, and then we get to know each other's audiences. They get to know us, and when we move around and we grow. If you think about just a couple words, and again, this is reinforced by everything that happened in Vegas. Collaborate with everybody. Hang out on their channel. Spend that, you want to go to bed, right? But spend that extra hour awake to go and hang out with this person, right? I don't have enough hours in the day now to hang out with the people I want to hang out with.
Yes,
I don't. I mean, I want to hang out with Ord's board, but I want to hang out with Matt Fowler, but I want to hang out with other people who are alive, after Friday Night Tights or whatever. I want to hang out with these people, but I can't. There's not enough time. They're all going at the same time, I want to play video games with this group of humans. I want to do, I want to talk about the rise and fall of all civilization here right now. But I can't. There's not enough time.
There really isn't.
Collaborate.
I find it a little bit more difficult as well, obviously, because of the time difference. Yeah. So I'm constantly playing catch up. So even though I don't get to watch people's shows live a lot of the time, I will watch them and catch up and then kind of send people a message and say, this was a great show. I really loved what you did. And as you say, it's the back and forth. It's the getting to kind of talk to people. And if you think how lucky we are to get to do this,
we are, and that's the thing is I have to this thing now is I have my earbuds plugged into this thing. I'm driving around, I'm doing work stuff, I'm meeting with people, whatever. I go to the grocery, whatnot. That thing's glued to my earballs and somebody's playing in the background because I don't have enough time to listen to everybody and hang out. And it's a tragedy. It's a tragedy. But no, I don't even know anymore. I feel like I feel like we need even more people, and that's rule number one is collaborate. If you know somebody that has 4 people that are subscribers on their channel, and you have 8 people subscribed to your channel, do something together, because
reach out. Don't ever be afraid to reach out to people.
Yeah. I always want new. I mean, today, like I said, I had Stephanie on my channel for the first time. I had Disparu on my channel for the first time. I'm going to get you on my channel. But here's the cool thing. So my buddy Ian, who you might know, he's a film director, writer, he's known as the Mega Geek sometimes.
Mega Geek, absolutely.
Or as Rebecca Gold, which is his web series on YouTube, which is fantastic. He occasionally will get me an invite to go hang out with Dan. at Type
yes.
40, right?
Type 40 podcast,
yeah, and so I'm always like, this is a great privilege because I watch the folks in the UK, the European. I don't think you realize how many Americans watch y'all, and I just said y'all just on purpose, but
you know what? I actually found myself saying that unironically a couple of
Welcome.
days ago because I hang out with so many Americans.
Yeah.
It just slipped out.
We'll mess you up. Yeah, no, but it's so great, and I keep trying to get a drink, but I keep talking. But
you get a drink and I'll take over.
Okay, all right, go, because I'm dying.
But you're absolutely right. When I first started the channel, it was about connecting with people. We just had the lockdown, and the first lockdown that we'd gone into. I was cut off from work. I was cut off from the people that I wanted to hang out with that I knew in real life, and I needed that kind of social interaction. So I was encouraged by Loki, by a lot of other friends, by Mexican Iron Man, to start the channel, to actually reach out and talk to people. And they were absolutely right. It has been a blessing just to get to do this. And I love getting to talk to the chat. I love getting to talk to guests. Whenever anybody says, yes, I would love to come on, I get so excited.
Well, it was easy. How easy was it for you to say, would you like to come on, love? And I'm like, of course I would. Are you kidding me? I've been waiting for this invite.
Literally what I wrote, wasn't it, in that DM?
Yeah, almost exactly. Yeah, that was, and I'm like, absolutely, And it's because of you guys that I say that now, by the way. I say, oh, no, you're fine, love. And then I was that's not Merkin at all. What the heck?
I said fixing to in a sentence the other day.
Oh, no. Not even I will use fixing. No. I'm fixing to. I'm fixing to. What? No.
Nearsighted Cyclops says Purple needs to open with "Hey y'all." Brits speaking Southern is so cool.
That's true. It's very true. Nearsighted Cyclops. Absolutely. Oh my goodness, guys! Start a channel if you think you have something to say. If you just want to talk about your models, right? If you want to talk about your comic books, if you want to talk about wine, start a channel.
That's nice.
Yeah, that's a celebration one when I get to my 5,000 subscriber goal. So
I was going to ask, is that for a special occasion? Absolutely. But Coach is absolutely right, guys. If you feel like you've got something to say, do it. There are so many people out there, and as we've proved, with each other, with everybody else, we're here for each other. We will help you. We will give you advice. We can't do the work for you, but we can certainly tell you, how to build a channel, who to talk to, who to reach out to.
Yeah, I mean, I'm right now for two people in the background in my spare time. I'm working on intros. I'm working on like layering in some music. I'm working on base thumbnail templates and stuff like that, so that they can be more successful with their launch, with their channel, even if it's little. And that's the thing is I think Gary said it best. There's no little channels. There's up and coming channels. And you'll grow. You'll grow. And think about this. I only recently started to use like the stream element stuff. So now I feel like I'm getting into a position where I can tell people how to use that so that you can get tipping working before you're even monetized, because it can be a challenge. And it is, because YouTube can break and cause problems. And
yes, as I was unlucky enough to find out.
YouTube can break, or you can be like our friend Ords, who gets demonetized for something
literally no reason.
Well, and Fanzine, our friend Fanzine from the Fandom Collective. By the way, guys, another thing to do: reach out to the Fandom Collective when you get started, because they will help you all along the way. They will promote you. They will promote your stuff. I mean, they're cool as heck. A great bunch of people. I love hanging out. That's the thing. Everybody I have reached out to has been cool. There's only ever been two people that I've ever felt have wished to do me ill. Two.
That's a pretty good ratio, considering how many there are of us. Absolutely. Have you found it's a learning process? I mean,
oh gosh,
I know people say, I can't do this until I've got this sort of camera, or I've got this sort of setup, or I know how to do thumbnails. But for me, it's a learning process. Every single time I do a stream, I learn something different, or I think, okay, this didn't quite work this time, so next time, this is how I'm going to do it.
Yes. It is. It absolutely is. Believe me, I had to relearn, because I had used Final Cut Studio for a very long time, many moons ago, previous life, basically, and so now, I'm on a different editor, but I had to reteach myself editing and compositing shots and everything else. And you know what? I picked it up quicker, but I think that it's just as simple for a newcomer to learn it, because they're not going to learn bad habits, because there's instructional videos everywhere. And I did a members stream, I think, where I walked people through my process of how I went about editing a video. And I'm going to do more of that kind of stuff. But you don't need a fancy camera. You need a phone. Yep. You need a phone.
A lot of people started on their phone. Yep.
Our buddy Jed over at the Pop Culture Archivist, right? He is 100% on a phone. Everything he does is on a phone. It's amazing,
Jed does long streams.
Yeah, he does.
He does. Yeah, he does them very well.
Yeah, you don't need the fancy. It helps, but you don't need it. You don't need it. I mean, this mic is dumb. I don't need this mic. But the little Blue Yeti mic worked just fine for a year. I was using a headset mic before I even got that mic set up. Right. So I mean.
That's exactly what I do. If I'm not on camera, I just have a headset with a mic. I don't bother with the setup, and you just plug it in and go. Yeah. Absolutely. You were talking about the editing. That's the one part that I definitely fall down on. So that's something that I'm going to be looking into in the next 6 months, just kind of learning a new skill. So it's all progression.
Well, I'm right here live on stream. I'll say, well, reach out to me. I'll give you my thoughts on the different editors, because I've played with a bunch of them now, and I can recommend. I mean, I mimic a lot of the successful people. What they do. It's one of the reasons why I like the traditional cold open for a show. If you're going to do a film, just do a regular video, so you do your subject introduction, then you do your little we call it a stinger sometimes, right? Right after the cold open, which is usually just the intro for your channel, like Purple Valkyrie. And then, although yours is awesome, when you open your live streams, it's like, oh, I love this. I mean, it not only that, it gave me an extra minute and a half to pull myself together. But
I would have given as much time as you needed.
Oh, no. I told you I'd be here. And didn't Jeremy from G&G and also Jeff from WCBS start off with their only? Yes, Chris, you're 100% right.
I did.
Yeah. By the way, Chris Prusa, awesome. Thanks for all your support for everybody, my friend.
Absolutely.
But you don't, like I said, I will happily help you with that, and anybody else who, needs some help, because it's not hard. Once you've seen the basics and you understand assembling it and all that, you're done. And then you can add all the toys in. Like, oh, I want the sparkly stuff over here. I make a sparkly thing.
Then you can add the bells and whistles after. Absolutely.
Yeah. But that's not even that hard. It's like, okay, so let's talk a little bit about how you do X, and if you notice, I like on the screen behind me, that's an animated banner. This thing up here, I can take off the screen at any time. It's subtle, because you don't need anything, so all that's happening is around the outside of the edges. If it depends on how high def your screen is. There's a little bit of a gold shift behind there. Okay. There's some penumbra behind it that gold, so it looks like that I'm not sitting on something flat. It's because a lot of this comes from the idea of kinetics. So we can talk a little bit about how you keep a viewer's attention visually. The masters of this were, of course, people who design theme parks now, because whenever you go to a fair or you went to a carnival or whatever, you had all these amazing kinetics, right? And so you had to understand what engaged people with these different sights, the sounds and all of that. And so theme parks took that to the next level, courtesy of of course, the visionary Walt Disney, and his concepts of you need 3 layers, 3 levels of different things happening to create something otherworldly, to separate you from the mundane and the ordinary. The same things happen in quality television production and any kind of cinematography. But you need those kinds of kinetics, the things happening in the background, to remain or to keep people engaged. So there's a lot to it. So it's the same thing with thumbnail design and stuff too.
It is, yeah. It's knowing how to grab the eye, absolutely. And sometimes I know a lot of people have a certain theme that they go for. When I do my thumbnails, they all look different. If you go onto my page, they just everything's different. There is no cohesion. But I like that, I like being able to play with it, that kind of thing.
Organized mind. You have an organized mind. No, that's good though. Whereas I will do the same. The same kinds of videos are going to have the same kinds of thumbnails for me, because it's just easier for me to organize. So no, not Dianetics, Kinetics, Man of War 665. No, Kinetics. But no, I mean, thumbnails are important. I didn't realize how much so until I was being said. Originally, I was told you have a pretty good thumbnail game, and I'm like, I don't even know why you would say that. But now that I've learned how to do good thumbnails, I'm like, oh. And then that's why I can always see. Yes, and Phoenix Tangent's correct. That's why when your thumbnails are like, wow, that's stunning, I need to step up my game. I added the B there to the game. There you go.
You know what? I wish I could say I spend a lot of money on it, but I use Canva. That's what I use.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well done.
I use stock photos, and then anything that I can find on the internet that I can kind of either cut down or just edit it a little bit so I'm not directly taking from somebody else, so I get a copyright strike. That's how I do mine.
Yeah, well, and that's the other thing too. I mean, you're getting a lot of fraudulent strikes on people's stuff, and I'm like, that's just trash.
They're pretty sensitive now.
Yeah, and I'm like going, okay, guess what? You don't control all images of a die in that's in the air, like what has above my head. But let's see. Nearsighted Cyclops says something that I want to talk about. As his whiteboard thumbnails were brilliant. And that is something he obviously stumbled upon, but that is, so he's combining something familiar with something unfamiliar with something that is interchangeable. So him holding up that whiteboard, you had a lot of familiarity. You had some stuff that was unfamiliar, and the topic was the thing that you were drawn to. So that's why those were so effective. It took some mundane items and put something unfamiliar there. So yeah, bring back the whiteboard. Absolutely. I agree with that. I think those are some of his best things.
Yeah, a lot of people miss the whiteboards, but he doesn't want to use them anymore. I like the whiteboards. I thought it was really endearing.
Yeah. No, but again, did you see? That his rapid growth was like. The whiteboards took off. I mean, because again, what the video is about, and it's like, oh, all right, I'm going to watch this, and that's the thumbnail has to get your audience to go, I'm going to watch that, so.
I'm going to get that. Absolutely. And I know, obviously, we've said, we're all here, but at the same time, everybody's after the same audience. I know everybody, we're very careful. For the most part, we don't kind of stream over each other.
Try not to.
If we try not to, absolutely. And obviously, whenever we do a stream, we say, okay, who's streaming after us? Go raid their chat. It's a case of kind of go check these guys out. But we always try to direct people to everybody else. I'm overly guilty of that. I over promote everybody. Well, thanks. That's great feedback and all, because I get that a lot. By the way, I get some really ridiculously disgusting, filthy DMs from people. I don't know why. I get some very odd comments sometimes.
I'm not a bad guy. I just said I don't like what you're doing to stuff. I didn't say you personally, but whatever. But yeah,
do take offense though, don't they?
They do.
Quick.
Oh yeah, I've been, and one of the I guess it's a perk actually to hear what some people actually think about you in a weird way. But I just I mean, like, you know, I've been called lots of things, and none of them have been a good milk cow. You know what I mean? So it's been in trouble. I have my DMs open. I mean, if you follow me and I follow you, you can shoot me a message, and it ends up being, you know, interesting.
Yes.
I've had some really disgusting stuff show up in my YouTube comments too. So now I actually vet some of the comments, which I you know, normally I wasn't vetting them. I was just answering, and I like to reply to comments. I like that kind of engagement.
Yeah,
for a couple of weeks, I haven't had like the kind of time I used to respond to people, but I like it. And I don't think people realize how important it is. And I'm saying this in front of your audience. Throwing comments into a video, incredibly important, even if it's a live stream that was recorded the day before. If you throw comments in there, it elevates the video in I'm going to call it the logarithm. In the algorithm, yes. But in the logarithm, and it makes it improves it improves that the opportunity for that video to make it there. So yeah, wow, this is a good question, Joker Voice. I can man, see, I love Gary's beard. Please, I'm going to couch it in those terms. I love Gary's beard. I got to hug Gary with said beard on his face, right? But if I grow that beard, I'm going to be beard oiling and beard bombing the crud out of mine, because I want it to be straight and organized. I mean, I have a hard time right now. There's some hairs right now in my beard currently that I'm uncomfortable with. So because I've seen myself on camera way too much today, I am going to have to do beard maintenance because it's driving me crazy. But yeah, I mean, I could do that. I could do that. Oh, speaking of which, you asked a question earlier that I got distracted because, you know, like a bee flew by or something. I got distracted. You know, squirrel, you know, anyway. So, but
I have a squirrel emoji for that exact reason, because we always get.
Oh yeah, I tangent. Anyway, no. You asked about the hair. You can't even believe how many people touched my hair in Vegas. I don't know.
Were you okay with that? Were you like?
I don't care. I don't care. Yeah, well, except that Tugs, she yelled at me because she was like, "You don't have to curl your hair, do you?" I'm like, "No, just naturally." She's like, "I hate you." Okay, well, great, fantastic.
We actually had a comment very early on in the chat, and they were saying about how we should have a fan. Now, I don't have a fan to plug in, but I can certainly do this for you guys.
Oh, it's so lovely. Look at the pretty red hair. I love that so much. Stop erasing Ginger. Speaking of gingers, Ginger Ninja's in the chat, and all the way from Japan, I got to meet the Ginger Ninja.
That's
very cool.
So cool. That is dedication.
It was, and then there was some trouble, I believe, when Ginger Ninja got back home. But I won't release that information. I just hope everything's good now, my friend.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I like I said. So yeah, having people touch my hair, apparently that's not going to bother me. So.
Maybe it's good luck. Who knows?
Somebody said that. Yeah, rub Culture's hair and win money. I guess that happened. It worked for Drunk. Thank you. Jay did pretty good after touching my hair.
So basically what you're going to have to do next time is you grow your hair very, very long and just cut little kind of snippets off.
Here you go.
In little baggies. Just as little giveaways.
Well, gentlemen used to cut locks of their hair as tokens, right? And ladies did as well. So yeah, maybe we'll see. I'm gonna have to grow it really long. I mean,
put a pin in it.
Put a pin in it. Okay. Dude, I'd have to grow it to my booty. That'd be a very long hair.
And Ginger Ninja, thank you, and he says, "Culture, you're an amazing, amazing man. I'm feeling quite fine, and thank you for thinking of me, sir." Oh, absolutely. You guys, I don't think you realize I met all these people. It was so great. The people were talking to the boss. She confided in me later. That people were talking to her and says, "Is he always like this?" And she's like, "All the time, all the time." You know, and I try to be. I have family members that are concerned that I'm a very angry person. I'm like,
when am I angry? They're like, you were never angry before. I'm like, are you watching my videos and I'm mad? No, I'm just calling out the bologna sausage that is what used to be our pop culture and entertainment. Well, and news media, and I can go into it all. But
big difference between being passionate about something and ranting about something.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm not mad. If I were angry, if my blood pressure were rising, I'd turn red. You'd see. I mean, when I get angry, you ask anybody who's seen it, because it's happened on stream a few times. I turn red, like tomato red. And you see the vein pop out in my forehead. Yeah, I mean, it's like I'm gonna turn into Red Hulk. But no. Just like,
you know what? I don't think I've ever seen you lose your temper, so I'm going to have to go looking there.
Yeah. Well, okay. So here's the beauty of YouTube, right? These are lessons learned from creators that are over 1,000 subscribers and way over their 4,000 watch hours. I'm couching it then that way for a reason. I learned a valuable lesson from, again, other fellow larger channel YouTubers saying, don't leave your live streams up forever. You need to, take them down over time, cut little segments out, make videos out of them, but, make them unlisted. Don't private them. Don't delete them. Just move them back. And if you have playlists that already have those videos in it, more power to you, because people will still be able to get to them. But what it does is that, again, is because of the logarithm and how it punishes you for leaving up old live streams, because they're not getting the engagement that they were getting when they were relevant before.
Yes.
So just keep that in mind. So
yes, I think that's something that I'm definitely myself guilty of. I'm going to have to go back and unlist from
when I start to see subscriber growth slow, that shows me I'm dumb and I haven't unlisted a bunch of videos. It's like, hey, you're dumb. Oh, thanks. I'll go back and fix that. So. The logarithm will teach you. It will. It's a stern mistress or master.
It's a real thing. I know people think it's not, but it is. It is a thing, absolutely. And sometimes you can just hit it just right, and something will take off, and then you can work on something for a long time. And
one of my most analytical videos. Something. Well, thank you, Cisco Kid.
Thank you, Cisco Kid. Welcome to the channel. Thank you, sweetheart. Much appreciated.
Wow, they make it members. One of my most analytical videos. One of the that I worked on forever, love. One that I poured weeks into. Right, research, numbers, statistics, charts, bar graphs, the whole nine, right? Articles from everywhere, images, the whole nine. And I put it out there and it got me 80 some views. And I was like, wow. I spent weeks on this and it was super informative and lovely, and everybody's like, wah, wah, wah. And then I do something on MLB ratings, which is not normally the stuff that I cover, and that thing's 8,000 views. I'm like, oh, fuck.
So you can't win, can you? It's like, damn it, I thought I knew exactly what I was doing, and it just pulls the rug out from under you. So it goes back to what we were saying, though. It is all learning, I don't think even the biggest YouTubers will say that they know exactly what they're doing.
No. We're blessed because we know them, and we can ask them, and they will say. And then they'll be like, "Yeah, I don't really know."
They just look competent.
Well, no, it's just every once in a while you hit that viral thing, right? It's like, ooh, I was right in there, in the vein, and it was good. I tied it off, and it worked. But yeah, sorry, little too graphic there. But no, it's like I actually hit the logarithm, like the right mix of blood chemistry. Let's just put it that way, that it worked out. So no, but I can never explain why something works and something doesn't. I mean, I know I get better engagement with a better thumbnail. That's true. Click through rate. If you guys see that in the chat where it says CTR click through rate, I think Disparu put that in the chat. I mean, there's definitely something to that, which as probably did get better click through rate with his modern thumbnails, but. It's just something that everybody just kind of identified with, which again, I think, maybe you got better click-through rate now with the way he does it, but back then his channel was growing. So I mean, faster. Although he's still growing. I mean, how do I know?
Absolutely.
What do I know? I mean, I'm sorry. Anybody who's more successful than me, I can do nothing but be in awe of and try to mimic and pursue and compete. I'm one of those guys. I want to compete. I want to compete. I want to be huge. I want to be huge. Bigly. I want to be
Bigly. Huge.
Bigly. Huge. I want to be bigly. Huge. Bigly huge. Oh, no. Dude, I'm sorry, but I mean, we had 4 very entertaining years. I don't care what anybody says here in the States, but it was entertaining as heck. So.
I would be inclined to agree. I don't generally talk politics, but
no, me either.
Yeah.
Me either. I was like super entertained. You know what I mean? Yeah. A lot of people are like, I'm super offended. I'm like, dude, this is funny. It is really funny.
Just go with it. It's okay.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Those are words. Guess what? Words can't hurt you. It'll be okay. It is okay.
And Project Storytime is actually working really, really hard at the moment on his videos. So he says, oh, goody, my next video is something I've been working on for a while. Nice to hear that.
Don't listen to me. Don't be discouraged. I promise you, because I did spend time on one that, not quite as much time, but I did spend a lengthy period of time on another one. I've got another one that I've been working on forever, that I just keep getting more material, so I can't like shut it down. That's a problem. But seriously, you know, you have
feature length. It's like 3 hours long.
You have these I'm going to turn into Long Man in the American style. You know, it's like, you know, this is the American Mauler. No, but it sometimes you can make a long video that does very, very well. I had a 20-some minute one that I was surprised anybody cared about. So, and they watched most of it, which is also not normal. By the way, guys, if somebody watches 3 minutes of your 8-minute video, congratulations. Because, you know, if you get halfway, if you get 50% of something, you're doing all right. You know, if you're getting more than that, jump up and down. I mean, you'll have little green check marks next to your stuff going, yay, because that's not what happened. Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. Dump all your information like in that first beginning part and then start to like put little like I was going to say bombs, but that's not a good word on YouTube. Put little like flourishes.
Breadcrumbs, yes.
Yeah. It's so that you get them a little farther into the video. Just be like, oh yeah, and here at the end we're going to talk about this. And even if they just skip to the end part, it's fine. But it is what it is. And then don't sell yourself short like I did. Actually consider producing different kinds of merch, get involved with all these other ways to monetize outside of YouTube. I'm actually thinking about doing Twitch. Could you imagine me on Twitch?
Oh, I think that's a great idea. The only other platform I use is Odysee, but mainly that's to back up in case YouTube ever decides to take a break.
Doesn't like you anymore. They hit you with the ban hammer.
Yeah.
By the way, they did that to like my live channel, which I don't know why. I was like, okay, well, I've been putting this up here for like 3 months. Somebody must have said something, and I'm like, these are all my videos. They're all unlisted on my channel. Mm-hmm. Why can't I have a live channel? What did I do?
What's the problem? Yeah.
And
I bet you didn't get an answer, did you?
Nah, they said, hey, eat a bag of something. Feces. Yes. Okay. No, it's
good to know.
Wow, I have to dodge words. That's the thing. You know, I don't like to curse a whole lot, but it does come out occasionally. So
you can curse here. It's fine. I don't swear up a storm, but I do certainly swear occasionally, mainly for emphasis.
Yes, exactly. That's the British way of doing things. So yes, absolutely. Or anyone in the UK. I don't want to just refine it to the Brits because the Scots and the Irish folk they all kind of pepper their language with some. Fiery words. Use it
as punctuation usually.
It's emphasis. They're emphatic. Shite. Okay, so we're good. All right, but anyway. I'm thinking Twitch. I'm sorry. Yeah, a little real talk. I'm thinking Twitch for like some gaming stream and stuff like that. So, we should do plushies. Why not?
Yes, but that seems to be the thing at the moment. Everyone's loving plushies. So obviously, Maul and Rags have just released them, and they are adorable. I saw those.
I will go over to Makeship and see if they can makeship me. How about that?
That would be great. You could add like a real lock of hair to each one of them just to make them special.
Wow, 30,000 plushies later, I'm bald. No bueno. Oh, bueno. Maybe it doesn't have to be my hair. Maybe it could,
Yeah, I didn't say it had to be your hair. I just said a lock of hair.
Yeah.
Just it'll be random. You never know whose hair you're gonna get. That's the luck of the draw.
That's true. You have great hair too. It's really cool. I get to hang out with some people with amazing hair. I like. And a lot of people go, I don't want to listen to hair talk. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's what you're gonna get. Sorry, guys, but that's actually I think just keep that in mind. You know, we've got such a big community. You know, just a lock of hair from everybody. I think it could be.
There you go. Yeah, and then we could clone them. Then that would be great.
Yes.
Great.
Oh my gosh.
Apparently, we could have lots of clones. They'll all end up looking like Snoke, though. So bad plan. I don't know.
Guys, you guys have been amazing. I've just seen a couple more tips come in. Culture, do you mind if I grab these just to say
you do whatever you need to do.
Awesome.
I need about 25 seconds. I'll be right back.
Okay, lovely. I will grab these and say a massive thank you to the chat. Guys, you have been absolutely on fire today. So let me go from the top. We have just had, oops, and it skipped on me. We have just had a Glinster who was sent in a $7.77. It says, no super chat say. YouTube can bleep, 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 bleep itself. That's all I have to bleeping say. Thank you, honey. Much appreciated. Yeah, I am still having a little bit of back and forth with YouTube. Fingers crossed we'll be able to get it sorted as soon as possible. But I will touch on it tomorrow when I do the show in the morning. But to say a massive, massive thank you to everybody from Friday, for everybody who has helped throughout the week. You guys are absolutely incredible. We have got from Larry, thank you, sweetheart. He sends in $156. Oh, honey. It says, hail Purple Valkyrie with a purple heart. Best wishes to you. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you so, so much. You guys are incredible. Manowar665, thank you, honey, with a $6.65. It says, with you all the way, darling. With you as too, honey. Always, always great to see you in the chat. We have got a $30 from Mexican Iron Man. Thank you, Papi. It says, dang, what a great show. Two great people with great hair. Purple is prettier, though. Hail the great culture. Hail the lovely purple. Thank you, Mexican Iron Man. Thank you, sweetheart. We also had a couple more that came in, so I will grab them while culture is just setting up. So we had one from Phoenix Tangents. We sent in a $5 super chat. Thank you, sweetheart. We had a $50 that came in from Moro A. Didn't send a message, but I really, really appreciate you. Thank you, honey. We had one from Dadman Walking for $5. He says, a great stream. Thanks for the laughs. Thank you, sweetheart. Great to see you as always in the chat. We had one from the 20th, also from Mexican Iron Man, for $25. He said, I think we need a new universe where Mexican Iron Man teams up with Purple Valkyrie and together they save the universe, but first they go out to brunch, picnic, and then Island Sunset Cruise. Giggity. So we were talking about Masters of the Universe the other day, so thank you, Mexican Iron Man. We had one from Phoenix Tangent again for $5. Thank you, sweetheart. It's always fantastic to see you in the chat. John Beck sent us one that was $20, and he said, maybe the bank diverted your money to PewDiePie, LOL. I hope not, but if it goes to PewDiePie, I can kind of understand that. And also we had one from 4 days ago from Mexican Iron Man. He says, I love you, we love you, Daft Pappy. And I also had a very generous one from the Guardian of the North. Thank you, sweetheart. He says, I'm tossing a coin to our Valkyrie. So thank you guys so, so much for all this support. Much appreciated. Thank you. And I'm all caught up.
Yay! Oh, I'm glad I had to go get water. Okay, very good. Yeah, I had to run to the fridge. I'm like, I need some water. Yeah, the boss took Bear Dog for a walk, so I'm like, like, yeah, it's all right. That's all right. He's amazing. My little 15-year-old, heart patient dog. He's amazing. People don't realize. Everybody's like, oh, he's a puppy. No, he's been around for 15 years. He had a splenectomy. 2 days later, he had a stroke. So I spent 3 weeks sleeping on the floor and literally rehabbing him so that he could stand. So I actually held him outside to go to the bathroom and everything. And then I reworked with him to get him to walk again. That was 3 or 4 years ago now. He's an amazing little man.
He is so sweet. I've seen him a few times, and he is so cute. And the picture that you showed when he's on the
he's so
the
cute.
chip, I love that.
Yeah, well, hey, I've got one of these for all the channels I interact with still, so I got enough to take with me and give away. Everybody that I met that wanted one got one, and if you didn't get one, I'm sorry. But the the channels I interact with and stuff that weren't able to make it, I have a chip for them. So
nice.
And again, I mean. There you go. The next one I think is going to be blue. So I think it'll be a $10 blue chip. I have a purple chip that will be the $1,000 purple chip because I think that's appropriate. That one will come down the ways though. That has to be like an event chip. So. Yeah, but there's something I need to say, and I think it's really important, and I'm not sure for how much longer you want to go, because I cut out most of my days for however long you wanted to go.
Yeah, but just a few more minutes. I'll answer the question from Bunkwaddle, but please finish.
Please go ahead. I can say whatever I need to say.
All right, sweetheart. Just to answer, guys, as you all know, I have got the GoFundMe going. It is actually ending. It'll end tomorrow. I do have plans. Most of it obviously is going to go to bills, but I would like to pay it forward in some way. So that is what I'm going to do with some of it. But yes, it is ending. So a massive, massive thank you again to everybody who was supported. You guys absolutely blew me away on Friday and throughout the week.
Look, I think as said on the stream, sweetheart, don't cry. I know you're full of emotion. I know you're full of emotion. It was emotional for those of us who saw you were having difficulty. But as was right, you undersold what you needed. Was not enough, and I'm so glad that our fellowship of humans decided to be more generous. And I'm very, very thankful for that to all of you out there, and to those of you that continue to support Purple Valkyrie. Sometimes the scratch that comes from doing this is very important. Very important indeed.
It is, and as I say, I definitely plan to pay it forward because I know there is always people that will need help. So that is what is going to be done with some of it.
There you go. So there's my little man.
Oh, he just got back. Him! Oh, I want him. Oh, that's so cute.
Oh, he is. He's just a little bear. He's just a little bear.
Okay, the stream's just been made.
There you go. Bear dog appearance. Yeah, he just got back from his walk with his mama, with the boss, and that's kind of how I want to wrap up. If that's how we want to go about it, or whenever you want to end the stream. I'm not. This is your stream, love. But he's a huge part of the life. But I could not do what I do. Here you go. Sorry, I had to get rid of him for a second. I couldn't do what I do without this person here who's remaining off camera because I'm not quite ready for that. There you go. But the boss is the reason I'm here. The boss is the reason that I do this at all, or do it even a little bit competently. She is inspirational. She occasionally will write a letter that I'll present as a video on my channel. You can go back and see the boss's letters on the channel, and I'll read them. She's got great insight. She's the better part of the duo. She's smarter than me. She's funnier than I am. She's prettier than I am. And she makes me go. There would not be me in any way that I exist now without the boss, and that I recognize as a truth for the people that I met at the event I just came from in Vegas. And I've said this more than a few times. I'm going to say it even as many times as anybody will let me. Thank you, Melissa, for helping Gary make all of this come true.
Well said.
you know,
Absolutely.
and yeah, she's lovely. I'm sure Loki, if he hasn't already said as much, will
He
say
did.
it many
Yep.
more times.
Yep,
I
she
can't
said-
tell you, and talk about someone who is fiercely, will fiercely defend everything related to
Yes.
her man.
I heard
You
she
know,
was the most gracious hostess you could ask
she
for.
is. She is, and with that being said, they're very, very cool people. But I like you said, being able to meet the big channels and the big people there and realize that they're just a few years ahead of where I want to be. That was amazing. Because again, I mean, there were incredible voices there, and we were very lucky. We were very lucky indeed. So hopefully, all of you, including you, show up at the next one or the one after that or whatever. Because I'm addicted now to something safe, which is getting together with all of you. So anyway, that's it. So
Absolutely.
thanks for listening to me babble for. I can't believe we went 90 minutes of me going.
We did. I had an absolute. It was an honor, honestly, to talk to you. Before I do let you go, what's in the future for you? What have you got coming up?
Just videos. I mean, honestly, I only do one video a week now, if that. I'm busy. I'm busy. I do eight or 9 live streams a week on my own channel, and somewhere between 23 and 25 on other people's channels just during the week. My schedule's dumb. So what I've resorted to doing so everybody could kind of keep track of what's happening is I actually am utilizing YouTube's feature called trailers. And so I'm going to cut a new trailer every week that will run in front of my video to tell people what's happening. So like, for example, I featured you on the trailer that ran before my show yesterday for my gaming stream and before the show I did before this one. So I ran a trailer. So it had your show and then everybody else I was going to throughout the entire week because it helps me keep track and like put it forward in my mind, but it will now, inform my folks and everybody who comes by and sees that live stream. So thank you, Maria. This is one of the cool people I got to meet recently, courtay of our friend Paulie.
Maria is a real sweetheart. I've recently got to know her.
I have some stuff I may be working on that hopefully I'll be able to like send you something to look at here in a week or so. See, I like to do that. That's like the downtime because otherwise I'm going to sit.
What is this downtime?
This is downtime for me. Because I don't have to do anything. You're running this business. I just go just whatever's up here. When you got all these wheels turning up here, and it's all these little rodents, and they're different kinds of rodents. So like it's like you don't know what kind of rodent is going to be like powering the brain at the time. So, but yeah. So that's downtime for me, and it occupies my mind because okay, so this is a true story. In Vegas, I think I slept 10 hours in 5 days.
Oh my god.
Because somebody subscribed to me. Thank you. Thank you for earning me subscribers. I appreciate that, Purple. My goodness.
Thank you.
Wow. Anyway, but that's how I'm if I'm engaged in something, it keeps me out of trouble. It does, because otherwise I'm going to go sit and play video games and eat popcorn and break wind on the couch or whatnot. So no, this keeps me like engaged. So in doing live streams like this keeps me
mischief. Yes.
Mischief. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Well, yeah. And Loki would know. I mean, he gives you mornings of that. I try to avoid the mischief, but anyway, I'm so glad I got to do this. I felt so honored when you shot me a message. I'm like, oh, Purple wants me to come on her show.
I was so nervous to ask, but I thought,
why?
I've heard such good things about culture. I've got to ask just in case he says yes. And you said yes, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
Well, yeah, so cool. I don't. I saw it on my phone. I'm like, "Oh no! Of course I'll be there." Yeah, let me rework it. Whatever. You're crazy. Of course I wanted to be. I would come back if you'd have me.
Absolutely. I would love to have you back.
Wow. Yeah. Joker voice. So is Culture saying he's got ADD? Yeah. No, but that's the other reason I get in trouble, because then I start working on other projects. I'll do like 3D design in Fusion 360. I'll be working on stuff all the time, and Yeah, I do take breaks though. It's called eating. Although I usually eat on stream now,
Good.
or sleeping, which I haven't done that on stream yet, but give it time.
Give it time, because they all kind of blend into one after a while. And Chris Persia, thank you, sweetheart. And
Thank you.
absolutely, guys, if you're not, first of all, why not? But please do subscribe to Culture.
Ooh, I have a little trick. Hang on. I'm going to show
Okay.
you a trick. I'm
What
going
do
to
you
show you a
have?
trick. I'm going to show you a trick. Well, not like that. I'll show you a trick in the
Okay.
chat, though. No, it's not a dirty trick. Hang on. Let me see if I can find it. Just a moment. I got to get to my channel list. Blah, blah. That's not it. Wow, this is great, YouTube. Shut up, Casino.
Thank you, Punk Waddy says, if I ever have a channel, I'd say a purple interview would be a highlight. Well, you should make a channel, like we say, guys. If anybody is thinking about it, we can't recommend it highly enough. One, it's a hell of a lot of fun, and two, you will be part of this great fellowship.
All right, so this is a magic trick. So I'm going to send you. Okay, so this. I'm not a mod, so I don't know if this will work. But
I can make you a mod if you like.
All right. Well, are you sure? That's dangerous. Dangerous to me. Yeah. So I'm going to paste this here. Okay. So at the very end of this, if you were to go to it, you'll see at the end it says !sub_confirmation behind my channel name. Okay.
Right.
That asks somebody to auto subscribe when you put their channel in a chat. So if you just put somebody's chat, you grab their little thing from their channel, their business, their whatever it is, and then at the tail end of it, you add !sub_confirmation=1. It will immediately prompt them to say, "Do you want to subscribe?" And you say yes. Done.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is a really good trick.
There is an equal one for a video, and I'll put that. I'll send that to you because I won't send it in the chat. So, but no,
awesome.
It's very, very cool stuff. If you are a mod, or you are a just somebody who loves a channel and you have a wrench, or you're a creator, you can throw that into the back of any channel that you want to promote and get a subscriber.
That is very cool. I had no idea that was a thing. So I will be using that later on. Thank you.
Oh, you bet.
So, guys, massive thank you to Culture for joining us today. This has been an absolute treat. I'm really honoured to get to chat to you. I would love to get to talk to you again if you would come back.
Anytime. I will cut my show short just for you.
And you did, and I am so grateful for that.
Oh
today.
man,
Thank you.
I had such great show engagement too. I was like, this is awesome. I'm gonna and then some folks followed me over here, and so thank you very much. I love you guys. You guys don't even know. I mean, this is how we build. Is this the collaboration? We talked about it early on, and that's the truth. And I will be here anytime you want, and I will be quiet because you want to end the stream.
No, that's all. Just wanted to say, Chris as well. Thanks, Culture, and he's learned something new as well. So I didn't know that either. So a massive thank you. So guys, please, if you are not subscribed to Culture Casino, please do. You can find him on Twitter, and all of his links are in the description below. So please check that out. A massive thank you to everybody who joined us today. You guys were on absolute fire. I was watching the comments go past, and I was trying to grab as many as I could, but you guys, such great engagement. So thank you. Massive thank you to everybody who came over with Culture. I really appreciate it. Lots of new names in the chat. Welcome, everybody. And a huge thank you to everybody who sent tips today. You guys are, as always, the best. So, guys, I will be back tomorrow at 10 a.m. Central. Not quite sure what I'm going to be talking about, but I will definitely be finding something. And Culture, when's your next show, honey?
Oh wow. Okay, it's Sunday, so let's look at the whiteboard. This is a light day. I only have Welcome to Florida stream over on Lorena Creole's channel, which is a lot of fun. It's very funny. Yeah, and this one's going to be good. Lots of police involvement based on the thumbnail I saw, and then of course I have the Sunday night hangs and video games over with Ord's board, possibly if he's doing that, which I think might be on Twitch only. I don't know. They talk me into playing the silly Fortnite game sometime. Like,
yes, I've been meaning to try that. So Stephen has recommended it.
I have now played maybe 10 games. I've won 4 times. No idea how. I definitely being carried by the teammates. But there's that, and then if I'm not there, if that's not going on, then I will actually be, maybe, I don't know if we're doing it this week, but we're trying to start a new Sunday show on Comics Division's channel, which is this one's supposed to be lighthearted and fun. And, just a little bit more on the humor side of the ridiculousness. So, but other than that, I just do the 6-minute daily Monday through Friday. And that's always fun. And then went out and just go look at the channel. You'll find out.
Check the channel, guys. Check the trailers.
You don't want me to read off, 41 possible things I could be doing. You don't want to know. Shut up, Culture.
Culture is a busy man, guys. What can I say? But it was an absolute honor to get to talk to you today. So my thanks. Seriously.
Oh, thank you. And one last question I'll answer to Joker Voice. I will absolutely hang out with Salty Nerd. I love those folks over at Salty Nerd Podcast. They're great. I almost did it. I almost did it at the con, except that they wanted to rapid test me and do some kind of weird probe thing with a stick, and so I was like, no.
That to get into the convention, wasn't it?
Yeah. And that's where they were. I mean, I guess I could have done it. I mean, I would have been on there with pretty decent company in that comics and and Gary, but did they really want me? I don't think so. But they're awesome. Salty's great. I love Matt, Alex, and Jude. They're all awesome. So there you go. I think I missed somebody. I always miss somebody. Oh, I got to meet Mr. Reagan. Mr. Reagan is awesome. I can't wait to hang out with Mr. Reagan. Oh, I got to shut up. We're ending. I'll be quiet.
I think we need to do a part 2.
We're gonna have to. I will never shut up. They'll be like part 27. You can be like, this guy does not shut up. I don't know what's going on.
No, it's been an absolute honor, but I will let you guys go. I will let Culture go because, as I said, he's a very busy guy. Not sure who's streaming next, but please do check out Lorena's show tonight because, as Culture said, it's always a lot of fun. She does an amazing show.
Yeah.
And with that, guys, I will love you and leave you. So a massive, massive thank you to my guest and a huge thank you to the chat. Mwah. Thank you, guys, and take care.